Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. So as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the Jeep, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the SRT. If you're in the market for a new Jeep, check out their inventory. Under the hood here, we have a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy, although it doesn't really matter, is 13 around town and then 19 on the highway. Power outputs are 475 horsepower and then 470 pound-feet of torque. Let's finish things over the front by going everything on the front end. First, I'm going to talk about color. So this is the ivory tri-coat. I love this white paint. You can see it just absolutely sparkles in the sunlight. The other paint color that I really love is actually over there. I don't think that you can get this on an SRT, but it would be cool. It's the Sangria paint color. So you can see here in the sunlight, it is purple. And I mean, it's a Grand Cherokee and it's got purple. I love that. If they don't offer this on an SRT, they need to. So Jeep, if you're watching this video, Sangria on an SRT. But let's get back to the review. So wrapping things up on the front end, we have the functional heat releases right here on the hood. Look really cool in general. And then you can see the little windshield washer things up top. Full LED lights right here with the projector bulbs. You can see the whole front grille is completely blacked out with the blacked out Jeep logo. Got little fog lights just down here, and then you've got the sensor for the adaptive cruise control. There are some parking sensors on this front bumper as well, but I love the contrast with the white and the black on this SRT. It's kind of like the Stormtrooper look. We've got 20-inch rims here, 295mm tires in the front and in the back as well. You can see you've got the Brembo brakes, red brake calipers on the SRTs, and the brakes are just absolutely massive in general. Grand Cherokee here on the side, but let's head to the back. Here's our key fob for the SRT. It says SRT on the back. It has a couple functions: lock and unlock, remote start, and the tailgate release. So if we press that button twice, first time we'll lock it, and second time we'll start it up. You can hear that 6.4 liter come to life. And if we press it again, that'll shut her off. And the tailgate opens. So if we pop into the back right here, we can see that we've got one of the speakers for the Harman Kardon sound system, little charging outlet right there. That is to lower down the tailgate again. And we can see over here, we've got a little cargo cover. Open this up, spare tire in the back. Other than that, they keep things pretty simple, and let's close her up. Let's finish things on the rear. I like the spoiler that they do up top. I think it looks really neat. We've got the full LED tail lights, Jeep badge right here, SRT on the side. Full parking sensors. We've got a little tow package right there, actually says SRT on it. And then you have the dual outlet exhaust that kind of just look like trumpet horns, the best way to put it. But you can see the exhaust inside there, but kind of like the cover they do over the exhaust. That's what kind of looks like a little trumpet horn. Now on the rear here, this one has the signature leather package. So you can see we've got full leather here, little carbon fiber trim, leather on the side of the door, which is really soft to the touch actually. Really like all of the leather in general. A couple more speakers for the Harman Kardon sound system. And then here are the seats in the rear. So signature leather packages come with a more premium, softer touch leather. You can pull this out, that's a couple cup holders right there. And then we can see we've got the fans here for the rear. We've got a couple of heated seats, and then charging stations in the back. You can put some storage stuff right there. And in terms of legroom, it is plentiful. Now, keyless entry, so one touch locks it, and then to unlock it, just slip your hand right there and it'll unlock. We can see the door panel here in the front looks identical to the rear pretty much. So same leather up here and down there as well, same carbon fiber trim. Another speaker for the Harman Kardon sound system. Memory seats are right there. All of your window controls here in this area with your mirror adjustments as well. And then over on the seat. So this seat looks pretty much identical to any Grand Cherokee with the signature leather package. It does say SRT at the top, which is a nice little touch, but really soft to the touch. Full power adjustments with lumbar support as well right there on the side. That's a little lumbar control. You can see the pedal layout at the bottom here, then all of our light controls here in this area, and then finally the steering wheel is going to be automatically adjustable. To start up the SRT, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, push the push start. It'll say Grand Cherokee right there, and it'll fire right up. We've got all of our controls here for the cruise control. Adaptive cruise control says SRT in the center. This is for that little center touchscreen display, and then these are your voice command controls. Paddle shifters if you want to shift the gears yourself, and then rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel to shift the, not shift, but change the radio stations. And then you've got your little windshield wiper turn signal stock. Now we can see here we've got the speed over on the Left side in the center, you've got the RPMs because that's most important. And then over there, you've got your temperature gauge and fuel gauge. And then here is this little center screen, which you can kind of configure through a couple different menus to give you different bits of information. This is cool. So like you can do like a 0 to 60 timer, all that kind of stuff. This obviously has never been driven, so that's why everything is not ready and nothing has been done or anything like that. Man, look at that, the G-forces that you can pull with this. Here's our center display screen, and you can see pretty responsive in general. This is Jeep's upgraded unit. You still have the performance pages on this 2020 SRT. And then this does come with a backup camera, which you can actually see right there. So little trajectory lines that'll pop up, make parking a whole lot easier. It does have heated and ventilated seats, which I'm actually gonna turn those on. Even though it is 50 degrees outside, kind of hot after reviewing all these cars. But anyways, we do have a dual zone climate that you can go through, and then the other pages we're going to go into is the SRT dashboard, which if you press this drive modes button, it'll make that pop up as well. You can see that there's a couple different drive mode things that you can go through. You can change the RPMs for the launch control once that is active, which you have to have 500 miles on the car, and then you get the performance pages as well with this SRT, so that'll take a second to load up. And while that's loading up, let's actually go over the analog controls down here. So analog climate controls right here, radio controls to the side, stability control, that button doesn't matter, just lane departure assistance. We have our parking sensors, and then that is your parallel and perpendicular parking assistance. And the pages have loaded up. So we can see you've got a bunch of gauges right here. You have an actual like dyno at the bottom, so you can see if I floor it just a little bit, you can see the dyno will spike. So pretty neat that they give you all that kind of stuff. So we've got extra storage here if I open it properly. A couple charging stations inside there as well, all lined with felt. We can close that. You've got the cup holder situation right here. This is the shifter for the 8-speed automatic. You can shift the gears yourself if you want, dual shift mode, or you can use the paddles, either or. Drive modes we'll go over in a minute. Center console area here, which extra storage lined with felt, and then you can see that there's a ton of storage. It is a 12 volt at the bottom. And then finally coming over to the glove box, we can open this up. You can see it lined with felt, plenty of storage space, and they've got leather all around it, and then nice carbon fiber trim, so really solid setup in general. Here's our little drive mode select. You do have the launch control button right here, the drive modes, which again, that pops up on the touchscreen, and then you got your custom mode. So you can see over here, it'll show you the drive modes, but then it also pops up on that if you have that screen pulled up. So you can see you have your track, your sport, your auto, you've got your snow, and then you have your tow. The other cool thing about the drive modes I forgot to mention is you can see it tells you how the split is. You can see it's 50-50 versus street versus sport versus track on the all-wheel drive system, how much power it actually sends to each part. So I think that's a really neat feature. Now we have our little sunglass holder up top. Universal garage door openers. This is for the whole sunroof system. Light controls on the side, so you can just press those. Pretty simple. Other than that, they keep things nice. Oh, and suede headliner. So yeah, very, very nice to the touch. Looks and feels really premium. I mean, if I had a suede headliner, I would just be like doing this all day, just saying. Let's wrap things up on the interior, which I really love, especially the carbon fiber trim, all the leather padding, everything. It makes this interior feel and look a lot more premium. But let's talk about pricing quickly. So this SRT Grand Cherokee stickers for about $83,000 before any type of market adjustment, which, yes, that's on the more expensive end, but this is fully loaded for an SRT Grand Cherokee. That all being said, let's take it out to see how it drives. Let's go over visibility before we set off. So you can see visibility over the hood's really good, and it's cool that you can see the little hood scoops. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. You can see visibility throughout the mirror, and by the way, you got that blind spot monitoring in the mirrors. And you can see visibility throughout the rear is actually pretty good. The windows are pretty square and large in general, but let's set off. So initially setting off here in the SRT, let's talk about ride quality and road noise. So in terms of ride quality, it's actually really smooth, especially compared to the Trackhawk. It feels substantially smoother. And then in terms of road noise, it's pretty well insulated in the cabin in general. There's a little bit that comes through, but it's not a whole lot in general. And you guys can kind of hear that right now. But you do get some nice sounds from that naturally aspirated 6.4 liter V8. So let's talk about steering feel first and foremost. So you can see that the steering is very light and effortless, and it's pretty direct in general. It kind of goes right where you put it, which is very, very nice. And yes, it is a heavier SUV, but with how direct the steering is and with how quick this is, it kind of obviously it's going to drive really sport being an SRT, but it almost drives somewhat sports car like. Now let's get a little acceleration here with the SRT to see how it performs, and let's actually shift it over into sport mode while I do this. Yeah, so I mean, you can see it gets up to speed pretty easily enough, gears down really quickly in that sport mode. The track mode is even more aggressive, and if you can put it in the track mode settings with the throttle response and all that, but then put the suspension this softer setting, then that'd be kind of like the most fun you could have, like driving this on a daily basis. Let's wrap things up on the SRT. So if you're in the market for a high performance SUV, most likely you're gonna be looking at a lot of the luxury brands as well. That being said though, with how much power you're getting, all of the safety tech that comes along with this, and the interior on this is actually really nice. You have to see it in person with this signature leather package. I feel like compared to the other competitors, it's a pretty decent value in general. That all being said though, leave it up to you, and I would definitely say look into one of these SRTs. And there we have it, everyone, the 2020 SRT Jeep Grand Cherokee. Absolutely love it, especially in this, like I said, Stormtrooper style. I think it looks absolutely menacing. But anyways, if you are stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you thought. And then again, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Dodge Ram, Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the SRT. Check out their inventory in the link below if you're in the market for a new Jeep, Dodge Ram, or Chrysler.